Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Anna.
This is the Geeked Up Gaming Review Group. We're going to bring you guys a review of an awesome game from Cool Mini or Not. It is inspired by a MOBA. So that's a massive online battle arena, such as like League of Legends or Dota, Dota 2, and Heroes of the Storm from Blizzard
Dota?
Entertainment. Dota is, I don't remember, something of the ancients. Something of the ancients. I can't remember. If you guys want to leave a comment down below giving me the D, I don't remember what it is. I think it's Discipline or Disciples of the Ancients. I don't remember. So Dota, Dota 2, League of Legends, and what was the other one I said? Heroes of the Storm are what inspired this game. So let's go ahead and go over to the table, show you guys the box of Rum and Bones. And I'll show you guys all the miniatures and everything, and show you guys how to play. So here we have the box to Rum and Bones from Cool Mini or Not, and 5 houses. So let's go ahead and take this lid off, or we could show you the back, I guess, real quick. So it's going to show you guys a layout of the board. We're going to have all of your characters on each side. You're going to have your minions that keep spawning from their spawn points, which are these little dots here, if you can see those. And then here's the 2 main ships. Here's the 3 rows, and we'll show you all that when we set it all up. So, yeah, and then it shows you some of the miniatures. So let's go ahead and open it up and show you inside the box. So we have the rule book, full color, and I don't know how many pages.
It's like 30-something.
Yeah, and if you played MOBAs before, it's really easy to
oh, we didn't end up reading the story after
kind
we
of
played
cross
the
over.
game, the aftermath.
Oh, yeah. So.
But that gives you details on each character. It's really cool. It was such an easy rulebook to read and figure out how to play.
And Dota stands for Defense of the Ancients. I went ahead and looked it up to find out what it was. So here's the Kraken, which is one of the beasts that will be in the game. And then your reward for defeating the Kraken.
Where's the other one?
The other one, it's in here with the planks. So, yes. Here's the Sea Dragon. Try to keep some light on there. And that's also something.
And here's a card for the Kraken and the Sea Dragon. These are movement cards, backs just blank.
Yeah, and then here's the 3 planks that you'll put in between the 2 ships.
Oh, I didn't notice this before.
What is it?
Well, here's your character cards, and they have their symbol here, but they also have the symbol on the back. The backs are...
Yeah, I already noticed that.
Oh,
that's how I separated them, because it was easier.
And here is the team. These are the character sheets that you get for each character.
These are the... I don't know what these are called, but they go on the ship. So they're going to be the... Specific. Yeah, so there's your wheel. It goes on the wheel position.
Objective tiles.
Objectives. So your objectives that you're trying to defeat. And the first 1 to 6 points of these flags are the ones that is the person that will win.
And then here are decks for each of the teams. These are things that will help you out throughout the game. But there's one for each team.
And then here is one of the ships. And then Anna will pull out the second ship. There you go.
Beautiful colored boards.
Yes, and then these we can show you first, which are all of the minions that will spawn.
Oh, and you get 8 dice. It's plain black.
I'll make sure I got this not upside down. So, as always, you know, Cool Mini or Not comes out with some really awesome miniatures, and there's actually 3 layers here. So that's the first layer. There's a second layer, and then we have our 3rd layer. And those of you guys that have watched our previous video on this, the unboxing, I think this video is going to be a lot better because our lighting has gotten a lot better. I went to an LED lamp. It cost me $7.
$9.
$9. But this thing is amazing. So a lot better lighting. And it's a white instead of yellow.
Don't forget that has the pieces in it.
Yeah, this one's got the pieces in it. So So what we did to keep it in the original box and packaging and everything is after we punched out everything, we put them in these baggies. Did it come with the baggies?
Yeah.
Came with the baggies. These were already in a baggie. But these baggies came with it, and then we just kind of tucked them up underneath the miniatures and then slid them into the box as you saw me pull them out.
Wait, maybe it didn't come with the bags. Maybe I took them from another game.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Who keeps track of the baggies anyway? Oh, well, I guess I can tell you what's in there. So we have the markers that will say if you're dead, if you're in recovery, and then we have the little blood drops are what signify how much damage you have on your objectives, you and your opponents, and then the marker here. I guess
the big ones are called Dead Man's Tokens.
Dead Man's Tokens. Let me just get these all.
And then these are deployment tokens.
And then we have tokens for bleeding out. We have tokens for movement impaired. I don't think that's what it's technically called.
They're called blind, stun, blow, bleed, and silence.
Okay, well this one's stun because it's got stars. We did the bleed. We did the what's the movement one? This one here is slow. This is the silent one where she's got the X over her mouth. And I think it's a female. I mean, it looks like a female. So let's move those off to the side. Hopefully none of them fall on the floor. There went one. And then we have our main characters. So we have those 5 there, and these 5. And what's really cool is Cool Mini or Not has been doing this lately with their games. They've been giving these little pucks. They go on the bottom of the bases of all the games.
I don't know if it's lately or not, but
well, the games that we have, the early games we have from last year don't have the bases to start doing that. So that's why I say lately, because I feel like these
there's your money coins.
These are doubloons. She's not a very good pirate.
I'm sorry, doubloons.
So let me pour these out. You guys look at those. These are really cool.
They're actually called coin tokens in the rule book.
Yeah, well, they're doubloons. So Cool Mini or Not doesn't know what a doubloon is either. They need to get their piracy on. Watch, they're gonna see this video and be like, "Yep, he's not getting any more stuff." All right. So that's everything. That's the dice, the miniatures, the markers, and everything. So let's go ahead and go over to the. I guess I can show you a couple of these. Here's some of the cards that'll be in both players' decks. Different wording and stuff, and then signify with that on the back of them. So let's go ahead and go over to the next frame. We'll set up the game and then show you guys a small tutorial gameplay.
Okay, this is how you set up the game. Each player has their 5 heroes out here. You have 4 deckhands on 3 of your objective areas, tokens. And you only put these on the lanes where you have deployment tokens. And those stay there. You have your 3 movable boards here. Each person has a tied deck. You have your dice close by, and you're ready to start the game. And your wound tokens and coins and all that stuff. And your extra minis for your army, I guess. You're going to start by, there's a specific turn order that you do. You do everything in the turn, and then there's the next player's turn. So the first thing you're going to do is prepare your heroes. What that entails is you're going to pay each one who is ready. And ready means that they're ready to be deployed. They're not dead. They don't have any of these markers on it. These markers mark if they're dead, if they're recovering, and then they're off when they're ready. So you're going to pay each one of your heroes that are ready. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to fire your deck gun. You have a deck gun. The only time you're not going to fire it is when you've lost it. And what that entails is that you take 4 dice, you roll them. They can target any square on the board, and 4 or higher is a hit. So I'm going to target this one right here, and I hit 1. So 1 deckhand is killed. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to deploy your crew. So you're going to take 2 deckhands. And deckhands are square based of your army. And I need another one. I can't find it. Here he is. And then you're going to take 2 bosuns, which are bottom based, and those are going to deploy on two of the things. So there are the round-based ones, you have the square-based ones, and that's the end of that. Then you're going to activate your crew. What you can do with your crew is they can attack any square that is adjacent to them, and they start off not being near anything, so they can't really attack. But what their attack entails is deckhands roll 1 dice, they hit on a 4 or higher. Bosuns roll 1 dice, they hit on a 3 or higher. But if your deckhands are on a square with a bosun, they automatically get a 3 or higher. So it's kind of beneficial to have bosuns on your squares with deckhands. But we can't attack, obviously. So what we're going to do is we move. And each one of your squares with each one of your deckhands and bosuns move forward 1 space. And they can only move forward. They can't move side to side. They charge to your enemy deployment zone, but they cannot enter the deployment zone. They cannot enter a square with an enemy hero, or anything. So they're they hit a block wall, as do your heroes. Your heroes can't go into a square with enemy territory. So the next thing you do is you're going to deploy your heroes. Now those are your 5 guys. They have special abilities, and I will, you're going to put them out. You choose 3. You can only have 3 deployed at a time. And so I'm going to take Miss Mags, who's my quartermaster, and I'm going to put her right here. I'm going to take Captain Daniel Pale, who's the captain, and I'm going to put him right here. And then I'll take my swashbuckler, Mad Ivan, and I'm going to put him here. Each hero gets 3 actions. You can have movements or attacks in those actions. And your attacks have 0 cost on some of them. Some of them have a cost of, I think that one has one with 3, and then 4. And then there's actions that you can do, which is the little helm signal down there. And those are actions that you can do. There's also some characters who have a reaction, and that reaction can be paid or non-paid, and it's a reaction to something that someone else does. And your heroes have a health at the top. Your movement is 2 spaces or an action. So you get 3 of them per hero. So I'm going to start with Captain Daniel Pale, and I'm going to take him 1, 2, that's 1 action. 1, 2, which is your second action. You get 1 more action, and he has Quicksilver Blade. It's 4 dice. It hits on 4 or higher, and it has a range of 1. So it can only hit 1 square next to it, and that does not include diagonal. There is absolutely no diagonal in this game. And then there's a special on this attack. It says heroes hit by a roll of 6 on the dice suffer silence. So I'm going to roll my 4, but there's no heroes on that space, so... And I hit 1, 4, so that kills 1 deckhand. And then I get to deploy Miss Mags, and she's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then she's going to attack here, and hers is called Payday. 1 deployed hero gains 1 coin, so I'm going to give that to Mad Ivan, my swashbuckler, and hers is 4 dice, hits on 4, and it's a range of 1. And there's a hit of 2. There's a 4 and a 6. So she kills 2. And then my swashbuckler is going to go. He goes 1, 2, 1 action, 1, 2, second action. His is 3 dice, hits on 3 or higher with range of 1. And his special ability on this attack is heroes hit by a roll of 6 suffer bleed. There's no heroes, so once again, doesn't matter. There's 1, 4, so that kills 1. That's the end of my hero deployment. Then you get, or my activate heroes, then you get to unleash the Kraken. What that means is on your tide cards, which your first turn, you don't have tide cards during your turn. There's a little Kraken symbol at the bottom. Those get played out in the open. Once they're played, the Kraken symbol's there. Each turn, you're going to roll 2 dice. And if it's equal to or less than the number of Kraken symbols out on the table, then the Kraken is deployed. So it's impossible to get a Kraken roll on the first turn and the second turn. But you have to have more than 2 Krakens on the table because you roll 2 dice. So, no, you have to have 2 or less. So, because you can roll snake eyes. There's special abilities in your cards that will release the sea monster. The Kraken's only released in that other way. And then it would be the next player's turn because that ends. Oh, no, you draw tide cards. So at this point, you draw 3 tide cards. And you keep them in your hand, and they have different things that they say when you can use them on the card. And again, they have the little Kraken symbols on some of them, not all of them. So you can play some cards without consequence of the Kraken symbol. And at your turn, when it's time to draw cards and you have cards, you can also discard and draw. That is one player's turn. Then it would be the next player's turn, and they would do everything all over again. So there's a few things I didn't get a touch base on that I want to go over with you guys now. First off, there's these, which these blood tokens are for your health. On the card, it has a health with the heart. Your cards have them, and these objective cards, or whatever they're called, have them, as well as the 2 monsters have health. And the health get knocked down until they're dead, and these get taken off the board permanently. The monsters do as well, but you count them with that. There's 3 in 1. You just do the math. And once a hero dies, which these are your heroes, and they're the ones with the specific health number, when they die, a coin goes on them. And the coin goes first in the dead position, and that means they're dead. The next turn, during the prepare your hero part, when you would normally put coins on them, what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over. And that means that they're on the next stage, they're recovering. And then the next one, the coin is taken off. And at that point, you can put a coin on them. But when the coin's taken off, it means they're ready. They're no longer in recovery. Your heroes.
These will also be put down on those cards when
Right.
they're dead. They won't be on the board still.
And
They'll go back there and then go back to the respawn.
Right. Another thing that I wanted to touch base on is these little things here. There's silent, stun, slow movement, bleed, and blind. Those all have their special movements. They're in the rule book. We won't really go over those now. Another thing is the health of your minion guys. There's your deckhands with the square base, and there's the bosuns with the round base. Each team has both. Those always have a health of 1. So those are killed at any movement. And then there is also an order for kills. So say we have a deckhand, a bosun, and a hero on here. And this is your objective. Whoops. What you're going to do is if you roll and hit, deckhands are always hit first. So they get taken off. Then your bosuns get taken off. Then your heroes' health are diminished. And then your objectives have a health. So when those are taken off, you get these, and these each have victory points on them, as well as these 2. And then it gets flipped over. You also gain the reward of coins that's on the back, and you get a permanent ability in some of them. So you have 2 points of permanent ability, and you get 2 points when you defeat the thing. So when you have these and your victory point spot, anytime you have 6 victory points, so say you have this combination, that's when you win. First person to 6 victory points wins the game.
Or defeats 3 objectives, which are the ones with victory
Everything
points
with victory points is 3, so as soon as you defeat something with 3, as soon as you defeat 3 of anything. The bases for your heroes, there are colored bases. Each team has different colors, and I believe there's expansions for those. So that's why they comes with more. There's a whole bunch more that you can have, like bigger tokens, and there's, I believe, expansions coming out. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is the Kraken and the Sea Dragon. These have turn abilities, and when it's the Kraken phase, it goes through. And then the sea dragon it tells you on there when its ability goes through. And I believe that is all I need to tell you guys about. I will see you guys over at our conclusion.
Alright guys, so now it's time for our conclusion on Rum and Bones. And with us today is the Jolly Roger. He's actually with us every day now, so we're using that as a backdrop. And it's kind of nice to have it back there for this Rum and Bones review. So we showed you guys the mechanics of the game, we showed you guys some of the artwork, how the game is played, and the components. I guess that's kind of all of everything in a nutshell. I'm going to let Anna tell you what she thinks, and then we'll get to my thoughts.
I really enjoy this game. I think it's one that I think I'll pull off the shelf a lot. I like the two-player aspect, that it's 2 players, and it's very well designed for 2 players because it's hard to find games that are. I am not really a MOBA fan. Like, he's made me play
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm. And it's not my thing, but I really like it on the board.
And it's the easiest.
Whatever. Anyways, I really enjoy the game. Cool Mini or Not is really good at the miniatures. They're beautifully designed. The art is beautiful on the game. We played it probably 4 times before we did the filming. And I was kind of disappointed because I tried a different strategy when I was doing the gameplay part. And I thought, oh, I really want to see how this would go forward. So I kept wanting to keep playing it, but we packed it up because we're just filming at this point. There's only one thing I really don't like about the game, and that thing is I don't know why the ships are on 2 separate boards, because they lift funny, and so
yeah,
it's not flat.
It could have easily been a 6-segment fold-up board.
Yeah.
Which I've seen a lot of games like that with the 6 segments where it just unfolds and unfolds. I think that would have been a better design than
especially
doing
because
the
we had
6.
to put the boards on
Yeah,
there, and then the boards move. And I understand the boards being on there because you have to put the Kraken over them or the sea monster over them.
Well, that you can also change the different ways of playing with the planks. You can put them in. You could eliminate 1 and do 2 lane runs.
And I mean, but on a solid board, you could still have removable planks. So I think that this game would have been better suited to have 1 solid board because it was really annoying with all the miniatures, especially the lightweight little ones.
Oh, yeah.
When the board lifts, that's really annoying. So
or maybe it's to give it that effect of the boats rocking so they fall overboard.
And the rule book, I don't think says, oh yeah, there's another thing we didn't talk about. You can go overboard in the game. There's certain things that will make you go overboard, and your player doesn't. It just basically loses its turn when it goes overboard, and then the next phase it must deploy, and it loses all of its money. But that's a whole.
But that's only heroes. That's not the minions.
Deckhands or the bosuns. But the rule book was super easy to read. If you like MOBAs as a video game, I think you should pick it up, but that's more of Tim's thing, so I'll let him tell you what he thinks about the review.
There's a few things that I understand that this is inspired by MOBA, but the way that the game sets up is that you're looking at your ship and you're attacking straight on, to where when I'm thinking of a MOBA, I attack this way. So it's from left to right or right to left, depending on which side you start on. So I think when we'll keep playing it the way that it's supposed to as far as the rule book and everything. But if I play with a buddy of mine that also plays MOBAs, then I will play it to where we would play left to right or right to left. And I can understand why they made it facing person to person for tabletop gamers, because it's just natural. So for me to play it side to side, and that's just a personal preference, it's nothing wrong with the actual game or anything. But I do agree with Anna on it being, probably would be more suitable for it to be a 1-board thing instead of 2 boards. Maybe it's a packing deal in the box, or maybe it's just the design that's what they wanted to go with. So that would be contact with Michael and ask him about that. So, because he designed the game. So, I mean, as far as that goes, that's all I have to say about it. And then,
but it could have been a print thing on Cool Mini or Not Send, or
could be a publishing thing. There's some other things about it. I didn't feel that it was a true 3 lanes because the ships are pretty much like next to each other, and there's only. I understand you have to roll to swing over to the other side if you don't use a plank, but in a MOBA, and I know MOBAs are able to be bigger because it's on a PC platform versus on a table. But maybe if they'd have done 2 larger boards that had to be 2 boards, then I would see like that would make it feel more of a MOBA. So then we would have all the center lane traffic, we'd have top lane traffic and bottom lane traffic. And it's hard to say, like, to keep the MOBA opinion out of it because it was inspired by MOBAs, and I understand and I see the 3 lanes and I see a lot of different things that act like MOBAs, like the minions that keep going forward and they only attack, if they're in an adjacent space. I feel like those characters, since they only have 1 point of health, should be able to attack diagonally when there's a hero there, especially when there's a hero there, because the heroes have so much health. And then the heroes should know, like, I'm experienced enough to always know to keep my heroes behind my minions, let them be the first guys, and then kind of like trickle up with the heroes, where Anna was trying to lone wolf with heroes and coming all the way across the board right off the bat, and that's the best way to get your guys killed. To where I like to clump my heroes, keep my team together, try to go with 3 guys on one lane, and then 1 guy on in this case it's 2 guys on one lane and 1 guy on another lane because you only have 3 deployed at a time. That's another thing that I'm not used to. I'm used to having 5 heroes, and it may be a possibility that the board is just not big enough to support 5 heroes and all the minions. I mean,
we did the first time we played. We misread the rules and played 5 heroes.
Yeah, we deployed 3 at the first time.
And that game lasted like an hour and a half.
Yeah, so that was a lot different. And then I don't see any characters that have a healing ability. Maybe I overlooked that. But was there a character with a healing ability? You could pay coins at least to do it?
I think so. Keep talking.
So there's that, and then there's no... the deck gun, I don't really understand that. That's like an environment thing that automatically happens for both teams. So I don't know if that's an environmentally triggered thing. He doesn't
understand it in terms of a MOBA, not in terms of the game.
Because each person got to fire a deck gun. That was like...
She heals.
It's like a free attack. Okay, so there is a healing character. Okay. So it's just... Being an experienced MOBA player... I shouldn't say experience. I've only played... tried playing League, and it had the whole buy stuff at the shop deal and all that, and then... Which I can understand where you pay the coins to do the other extra attacks. And those could be, I guess, the simulation of the shop. But those, the most of them that I played, you had to go back to your base or your spawn point to actually get that. I think, I don't know, I didn't design the game, obviously, and I'm never going to design a MOBA-based tabletop game because I would have so much stuff going on with the game that nobody would want to play it. So this is really a really nice tabletop version of a MOBA. So pretty much everything I'm saying is probably way out of there, but I feel like...
It's nitpicking because he's a MOBA fan.
Right, I feel like the pool spawns for the minions is fine. Like those 3 points there. For the heroes, I feel like they should have spawned in a certain spot, like centered on the player side of the ship. So that would be like the spawn home for them. But it is
like for each lane, like I understand, but...
Yeah, but they're in the tabletop version, they're letting us spawn on each lane. And then that's basically giving us an advantage on the left side or the right side, whether I have to deploy or if I got the choice.
But you're not allowed to deploy more than 1 hero on each thing. So you have to deploy one on a different one, so you can't like weigh heavy on one side or the other. You can weigh heavy on one side with one hero and then one in the middle, but
right, which I was able to run heavy on one side anyway.
But all that being aside, the fact that it's not a true MOBA for you, is it a good board game? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love playing the game. I like that each character has their special abilities. The healer thing I overlooked. I did not know there was a character there with a healing ability. I think it's really cool having the undead versus normal human pirates. I kind of like that because I'm a huge fan of Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, however you want to say it.
It almost sounds like the intro. There's like an intro here, and it's pretty much the Pirates of the Caribbean story. You take Davy Jones' coin, and you're undead, and you can get shot and everything, but you still appear to be alive. And then
You mean you can have the curse?
the curse, yeah,
Right.
Davy Jones, the curse.
Dead
Man's Curse, yeah. And then the story goes along that Davy Jones has been killed, and his crew was killed, and his ship is killed, but his treasure is still available to plunder. And then this ship of undead people come, kind of like the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, I feel like that maybe they should have went ahead and used Davy Jones as the captain of the undead
But he's
ship.
dead. That's the point of the game. Davy Jones is dead.
But he can't die
But he
unless you
can in
stick
this
his
book.
heart. In this story, he
He's
dies?
dead. Yes.
Alrighty.
I believe the Kraken killed him.
Well, then let's just talk about the history of Davy Jones. I'm not going to go into the history of Davy Jones and how you can actually kill him. I didn't read the story. So focused on the MOBA part, and it doesn't say this is an exact MOBA or anything like that. It's just inspired by. So I know that everything that I'm saying is just a big nitpick, and I'm just maybe sounding like an asshole. But
to put it this way, from my point of his opinion, because he can not give his opinion right now, I don't know why.
I
He
really
keeps
like the
talking
game.
in circles.
The game is awesome.
He has texted me on several occasions saying, I want to play Rum and Bones tonight. So, that tells you he likes the game.
This is my way of playing a MOBA with Anna. So it gives me that outlet. Like, I don't have to have her play League of Legends. I don't have to have her play Dota, or I don't have to have her play.
He doesn't have to have me
Here's
because
the
I
stuff.
won't play them.
Right, yeah, she won't play them at all. So this, because she loves board games, she's the reason that we're doing these reviews. She's the reason that I got into this, and it's a way for me to play a MOBA with her. So,
And
when
it's pirates.
right, yeah, and it's pirates. And then I asked her, I was like, I'm a little confused by the title, Rum and Bones. I get the bones because there's an undead army. I go, where's the rum? And then she was like, there's a cart with rum in it. So I did not know. There's like a lot
Well,
of
you
stuff
played
that I
it.
got to.
Here, look. Rum.
Did I play rum? I thought it was a
Yeah.
potion.
You said I'm gonna play rum the other day.
Well, I guess it does work like a potion. I mean, it makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you've got. Oh,
One
but
friend-
I got 3 gold out of that. That's what I did. I remember that
You
rum
played
card
rum several times. You played it twice. And then shot of whiskey. So
That's
it needs to be rum and bones and whiskey, apparently.
rum, whiskey, and bones.
Yeah. We really enjoy the game. We think you should pick it up.
Yeah, this is a really awesome one.
And the fact that it's miniatures, and I really want to paint these miniatures, but there's so many of them, so I wouldn't know which one to start with first. And we've never painted miniatures. If you paint miniatures, let us know what you use, where to use it. If you have a company and you want to donate them for us to practice and maybe do videos with your stuff, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But
we are plugaholics. We love plugging.
We're noob to painting. We've never painted.
Yeah, so if you got some like old crusty bottles like hanging out in the back of the like in the closet or something, just
You're like, hey, geeked up game.
like, hey, I got some old crusty paint. Like, we'll take it. So that's kind of cool. So we want to thank Spencer at Cool Mini or Not, and for donating this game and Arcadia Quest, which we'll be bringing you guys a review of in the future, near future. And 5 houses. You know, you guys were involved, so thank you on your part. And Michael Chanel, I hope I had to say that right. It's spelled Shinall. Yep. And if you guys ever want any updates about Cool Mini or Not and what they're doing, you can follow them on Twitter at
Twitter for twins.
CMON Games. So that'll be Cool Mini or Not Games, and that'll be their Twitter account, and they're always retweeting who's doing reviews and stuff like that. So you can always keep up on what they are doing with their games. So as always, I'm Tim.
I'm Anna.
That's the Jolly Roger, and this is Geeked Up Gaming. I completely messed that up. Anyways, this is Rum and Bones by Cool Mini or Not, 5 Houses, and Michael Chanel. We'll see you guys later.